Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is an American Christmas comedy film that stands as one of the most beloved holiday movies in cinema history. This film was produced and released by Warner Bros. Pictures and is the third installment in the National Lampoon's Vacation film series. The movie was directed by Jeremiah S. Chechik, marking his directorial debut in feature films. The screenplay was written by John Hughes, who based it on his short story, Christmas 59, which was published in National Lampoon magazine. The film was produced by John Hughes and Tom Jacobson, with Maddie Simmons serving as executive producer. This comedy masterpiece has become a staple of holiday viewing and continues to be broadcast regularly during the Christmas season on various television networks. The film's enduring popularity has made it a cultural phenomenon, with many of its scenes and quotes becoming part of American pop culture. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is known for its slapstick humor, physical comedy, and satirical take on the American family during the holiday season. The movie perfectly captures the chaos, stress, and unexpected disasters that can occur when families gather for Christmas celebrations. Despite being a comedy, the film also touches on themes of family loyalty, perseverance, and the importance of maintaining holiday spirit even when everything seems to be going wrong. The production design and cinematography effectively capture the warmth and coziness associated with Christmas while simultaneously showcasing the comedic disasters that befall the Griswold family. The film's success helped solidify Chevy Chase's status as a comedy icon and introduced memorable characters that audiences continue to quote and reference decades after its release. Plot details: the story revolves around Clark Wilhelm Griswold Jr., a well-meaning but often bumbling food preservative designer living in suburban Chicago. As Christmas approaches, Clark becomes determined to create the perfect old-fashioned family Christmas for his wife Ellen and their two children, Rusty and Audrey. Clark's enthusiasm and optimism drive the entire narrative as he embarks on an ambitious mission to make this the best Christmas his family has ever experienced. The film begins with Clark taking his family to the countryside to select and cut down their own Christmas tree, which immediately goes awry when they become lost in the woods and end up sliding down a steep hill on the tree itself. This opening sequence sets the tone for the escalating chaos that follows throughout the movie. Upon returning home, Clark becomes obsessed with decorating his house with an extraordinary display of Christmas lights. He spends considerable time and effort stringing up 25,000 imported Italian twinkle lights across his entire house. His dedication to this project becomes almost maniacal, and when the lights finally work after numerous technical difficulties, they create such a brilliant display that they can be seen from space and cause a temporary citywide power drain. The situation becomes more complicated when Clark's parents and Ellen's parents arrive to spend the holidays with the family. The two sets of in-laws have very different personalities and quickly begin to clash, adding tension to the household. Clark's father is pleasant but somewhat befuddled, while his mother is sweet but constantly worried. In contrast, Ellen's parents are more uptight and critical, particularly her father, who seems perpetually disappointed in Clark. Things take an even more chaotic turn when Clark's cousin Eddie, along with his wife Catherine and their two children, arrive unannounced in their dilapidated RV and park it in the Griswold driveway. Eddie is unemployed, financially struggling, and completely oblivious to social norms. His presence brings additional stress and embarrassment, particularly as he empties his RV's sewage system into the street storm drain and lets his mangy dog run wild through the house. Throughout the film, Clark faces one disaster after another. The Christmas tree he selected is too large for the living room and becomes infested with squirrels when brought inside. The turkey dinner is ruined when Aunt Bethany's cat, hidden under Ellen's hat, is electrocuted by chewing through the Christmas lights. The massive feast becomes inedible when the turkey comes out completely dried and withered. A central subplot involves Clark's anticipation of his Christmas bonus from his employer, a food additive company. Clark has been planning to use this bonus money to install a swimming pool in his backyard, and he has already made a non-refundable deposit on the pool installation. However, instead of receiving a cash bonus, Clark discovers he has been enrolled in a Jelly of the Month Club. A gift that sends him into a rage. Clark's mounting frustrations reach a breaking point, and he delivers an angry monologue expressing his disappointment and anger at his boss, Frank Shirley. Unfortunately for Clark, his wife's yuppie neighbors Todd and Margot have been eavesdropping and witnessed this breakdown. Eddie, overhearing Clark's complaints and wanting to help, decides to take matters into his own hands. In an act of misguided loyalty, Eddie kidnaps Frank Shirley and brings him to the Griswold home on Christmas Eve, forcing him to face Clark and his family. The situation escalates into a tense confrontation, with the police eventually being called. However, in a surprising turn of events, Clark's boss has a change of heart after seeing the Griswold family's situation. He agrees to reinstate the Christmas bonuses and even gives Clark an additional percentage increase. The film concludes with the entire extended family, including the kidnapped boss, the neighbors, and the police, gathered together watching the Christmas lights display. Despite all the chaos, disasters, and near catastrophes, the Griswolds manage to have their family Christmas together. The final scene shows the house covered in snow and twinkling lights as Clark finally achieves a version of the perfect Christmas he had been striving for all along, though not exactly in the way he had originally planned. Production INFORMATION. The screenplay for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was written by John Hughes, who had already achieved tremendous success as both a writer and director with films like The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Hughes based the screenplay on his short story, Christmas '59, which had been published in National Lampoon magazine, though he updated the setting to contemporary times for the film. Director Jeremiah S. Chechik was making his feature film directorial debut with this project, having previously worked in television commercials and music videos. His direction emphasizes physical comedy and visual gags while maintaining a brisk pace that keeps the disasters and mishaps coming at a steady rhythm. Despite this being his first feature, Chechik demonstrated confident control over the film's tone, balancing slapstick humor with genuine warmth. The film was shot on location in various areas around Los Angeles and surrounding regions in California, despite being set in Chicago. The Griswold house exterior was a facade built on the Warner Brothers backlit, which allowed for complete control over the elaborate lighting displays and various destructive events that occur to the property throughout the film. Interior scenes were shot on sound stages at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. Cinematographer Thomas E. Ackerman captured the warm, cozy aesthetic associated with Christmas while also effectively filming the numerous physical comedy sequences and sight gags. The production design by Jerry Rees created a convincingly lived-in suburban home that perfectly represents middle-class American family life during the Christmas season. The film's memorable musical score was composed by Angelo Badalamenti, who would later become famous for his collaborations with director David Lynch. The soundtrack also features classic Christmas songs performed by various artists, as well as the original song, Christmas Vacation, performed by Mavis Staples, which plays over the opening credits. Special effects and practical effects play a significant role in the film's comedy, from the elaborate lighting display sequences to the exploding Christmas tree and the various disasters that befall the Griswold home. The effects team had to carefully choreograph and execute numerous dangerous-looking stunts while keeping the actors safe, including sequences involving fire, breaking glass, and Clark's various falls and collisions. The film faced some production challenges, including the need to create artificial snow for many exterior scenes shot during California's warm weather. The logistics of filming the elaborate light display sequences required careful planning and coordination between the electrical department, special effects team, and cinematography crew to achieve the desired visual impact. Critical reception and LEGACY. Upon its initial theatrical release, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation received mixed reviews from film critics. Some critics felt the film relied too heavily on slapstick humor and physical comedy at the expense of more sophisticated storytelling. However, many praised Chevy Chase's committed performance and Randy Quaid's scene-stealing turn as Cousin Eddie. The film currently holds a 71% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on critical reviews. Despite the initially mixed critical reception, audience response was overwhelmingly positive from the beginning. Viewers connected with the film's portrayal of family chaos during the holidays and appreciated its ability to find humor in the stressful aspects of Christmas celebrations. The movie's reputation has grown considerably over the decades since its release. The film's cultural impact has been substantial and long-lasting. Phrases and scenes from Christmas Vacation have entered the popular lexicon, with quotes like, "Shitter was full," and "Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol?" becoming instantly recognizable references. The image of Cousin Eddie in his white sweater and dickie has become an iconic representation of the film, frequently referenced in memes and popular culture. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation has achieved the rare status of becoming a genuine holiday tradition for millions of families. Many people report watching the film annually as part of their Christmas celebrations, often multiple times throughout the season. This tradition has helped the movie transcend its status as merely a successful comedy to become a genuine cultural institution. The film's influence can be seen in subsequent holiday comedies that have attempted to capture similar tones of family chaos mixed with seasonal warmth. Its approach to Christmas comedy, emphasizing the gap between holiday ideals and messy reality, has been widely imitated but rarely equaled in terms of both humor and heart. Warner Bros. Has capitalized on the film's enduring popularity through various anniversary releases and special editions. The film has been restored and remastered for high-definition formats, ensuring that new generations can experience it with optimal picture and sound quality. Special features on home video releases have included behind-the-scenes documentaries, cast and crew interviews, and retrospective looks at the film's production and legacy. The success of Christmas Vacation led to a direct-to-video sequel titled National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure, released in 2003, which focused on Randy Quaid's character. However, this sequel was poorly received and has not achieved anywhere near the popularity of the original film. The original Christmas Vacation remains the definitive entry in the series' holiday offerings. Various stage adaptations and musical versions of Christmas Vacation have been produced for theater, demonstrating the story's flexibility across different media. These adaptations have found audiences who want to experience the Griswold family's chaotic Christmas in live performance formats. The film has also inspired various themed experiences, including holiday light displays that reference its massive illumination sequences, bar crawls where participants dress as Cousin Eddie, and Christmas parties themed around memorable scenes from the movie. This level of interactive fan engagement demonstrates the deep connection audiences have formed with the film. Themes and analysis beyond its surface-level slapstick comedy, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation explores several meaningful themes related to family, expectations, and the true meaning of Christmas. Clark Griswold represents the American everyman who desperately wants to provide perfect experiences for his family despite lacking the skills, resources, or luck to make his visions reality. His persistence in the face of constant failure makes him both sympathetic and admirable. The film satirizes consumer culture and the commercialization of Christmas through Clark's obsession with creating a materially perfect holiday, complete with elaborate decorations and expensive additions like the swimming pool he plans to build. However, the movie ultimately suggests that family togetherness matters more than material perfection, even when that togetherness involves chaos and disaster. Class differences and economic anxiety provide an undercurrent to much of the film's comedy. Clark's middle-class status feels precarious, dependent on his employer's willingness to provide an expected bonus. Cousin Eddie's financial struggles and complete lack of shame about his poverty provide both comic relief and a somewhat darker commentary on American economic inequality. The generational conflicts between Clark's family and both sets of grandparents reflect broader tensions about tradition versus modernity. With the older generation struggling to understand or appreciate the younger generation's approach to holiday celebrations. These conflicts feel authentic and relatable to many viewers who have experienced similar dynamics in their own families. Technical achievements. The film's lighting design deserves special recognition, particularly in how it captures both the warm glow of traditional Christmas aesthetics and the over-the-top spectacle of Clark's 25,000 light display. The sequence where the lights finally illuminate has become one of the most iconic moments in holiday cinema, achieved through a combination of practical lighting effects and careful cinematography. The editing by Jerry Greenberg maintains excellent pacing throughout the film, ensuring that the comedy never drags despite the movie's various subplots and the large ensemble cast. Scenes transition smoothly between different family members and storylines, building momentum toward the climactic confrontation and resolution. The practical effects work holds up remarkably well decades after the film's release. The Christmas tree fire, the sledding sequence, Clark's various falls and mishaps, and the exploding sewage scene all look convincingly real because they were achieved through practical means rather than digital effects. This commitment to physical comedy and real stunts gives the film a tactile quality that audiences respond to viscerally. The production design creates a believable suburban Chicago setting despite being filmed entirely in California. The Griswold home feels authentically lived in, with appropriate period details that ground the story in late 1980s America. The accumulation of Christmas decorations throughout the film visually represents Clark's escalating obsession and the mounting chaos. Angelo Badalamenti's musical score effectively supports the comedy while also incorporating genuine warmth and Christmas spirit. The music swells during emotional moments and enhances the physical comedy without overwhelming it, demonstrating sophisticated understanding of how score should interact with visual comedy. Memorable scenes in QUOT's Christmas Vacation features numerous memorable sequences that have become beloved by fans. The opening credit sequence, featuring the family's disastrous trip to find a Christmas tree set to Christmas Vacation by Mavis Staples, immediately establishes the film's tone of well-intentioned disaster. Clark's encounter with a semi-truck that leads to them sliding under the truck creates immediate tension and comedy. The attic scene where Clark becomes trapped and passes the time by watching old family home movies provides one of the film's more tender moments, showing his genuine love for his family even as everything around him falls apart. His discovery of old films featuring his children when they were younger adds emotional depth to his character's motivation to create perfect Christmas memories. The squirrel in the Christmas tree sequence showcases the film's ability to escalate a single comic premise to absurd extremes. What begins as a small problem rapidly spirals into complete chaos as the squirrel terrorizes the entire family, culminating in Clark's father-in-law attacking it with his toupee. Clark's inspection of his Christmas lighting display while standing on a ladder provides multiple sight gags and physical comedy moments, particularly when his tangled cord causes him to become caught and nearly fall. His dedication to this project, despite constant setbacks, defines his character's stubborn optimism. The family dinner sequence demonstrates the film's ensemble comedy skills, with multiple characters providing reaction shots and individual comic moments while maintaining coherent group dynamics. Aunt Bethany's confusion and Uncle Lewis's cigar create parallel sources of tension that eventually combine explosively. Eddie emptying his RV's sewage system into the storm drain while wearing a bathrobe and smoking a cigar has become one of the film's most quoted and referenced moments. Randy Quaid's delivery of "Shit, it was full" has achieved legendary status among fans of the film. Clark's workplace daydream sequence about using his Christmas bonus to install a swimming pool effectively visualizes his hopes and expectations, making his eventual disappointment all the more impactful. The fantasy sequence is shot in bright, warm tones that contrast sharply with the darker, more cynical reality he faces. The climactic rant where Clark unleashes his anger and frustration at his boss shows Chevy Chase's dramatic range while remaining within the film's comedic framework. His mounting list of creative insults and expressions of rage feels cathartic both for his character and for viewers who have watched him suffer through the entire film. The kidnapping of Frank Shirley by Cousin Eddie represents the film's willingness to push its comedy into genuinely dark territory. The image of Eddie dressed as Santa Claus while holding Clark's boss captive crosses the line from typical holiday comedy into something stranger and more subversive. The resolution, where the entire extended family, neighbors, police, and Clark's boss all gather together watching the Christmas lights, provides a satisfying conclusion that validates Clark's efforts while acknowledging the chaos he caused. The final shot of the house covered in snow and lights delivers the Norman Rockwell Christmas image Clark had been striving for throughout the entire film. Home Video and Special Editions. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation has been released in numerous home video formats since its theatrical run. The film first appeared on VHS in 1990 and quickly became one of the best-selling videocassettes of that year. Its popularity on VHS helped establish it as a holiday tradition in millions of households. The film received its first DVD release in 1999, featuring improved picture and sound quality compared to VHS. This edition included commentary tracks and behind-the-scenes features that gave fans new insight into the production. Subsequent special edition DVDs have added additional features including deleted scenes, outtakes, and more extensive documentary content. Warner Bros. Released Christmas Vacation on Blu-ray in 2009 to commemorate the film's 20th anniversary. This high-definition release featured restored picture quality that allowed viewers to appreciate the cinematography and production design in greater detail than ever before. The anniversary edition included extensive bonus materials and retrospective documentaries. The film has also been released in various themed packaging, including gift sets with replica props such as moose mugs, editions packaged with Christmas ornaments, and special collector's editions featuring unique artwork and packaging designs. These special releases cater to dedicated fans who want to own multiple versions of their favorite holiday film. Streaming availability has further expanded the film's reach, with Christmas Vacation regularly appearing on major streaming platforms during the holiday season. This digital accessibility has introduced the movie to younger audiences who may not watch physical media but still want to participate in seasonal viewing traditions. Cast and CHRACTRS. Chevy Chase stars as Clark Wilhelm Griswold Jr., the enthusiastic and eternally optimistic father who serves as the film's protagonist. Chase brings his signature physical comedy style to the role, perfectly embodying Clark's combination of determination, cluelessness, and unexpected resilience. His performance captures both the frustration and the heart of a man desperate to create perfect holiday memories for his family. Beverly D'Angelo plays Ellen Griswold, Clark's supportive and patient wife who tries to maintain sanity amidst the holiday chaos. D'Angelo provides a grounded counterpoint to Chase's manic energy, playing Ellen as the voice of reason who loves her husband despite his constant mishaps. Her performance balances affection, exasperation, and unwavering loyalty to her family. Randy Quaid delivers a scene-stealing performance as Cousin Eddie Johnson, Clark's well-meaning but socially inappropriate relative. Quaid's portrayal of Eddie has become iconic, with the character's white sweater, Dickie, and RV becoming instantly recognizable symbols of the film. Eddie's complete lack of self-awareness and his genuine love for his family make him both comic relief and oddly endearing. Johnny Galecki appears as Rusty Griswold, Clark and Ellen's teenage son. This was one of Galecki's early film roles before he went on to achieve television fame. Juliette Lewis plays Audrey Griswold, the teenage daughter who is mortified by her family's antics and her father's embarrassing behavior. Both young actors effectively portray typical teenagers dealing with unusual family circumstances. Diane Ladd plays Katherine Johnson, Cousin Eddie's loyal and long-suffering wife who shares her husband's obliviousness to their family's eccentricities. E.G. Marshall and Doris Roberts portray Art and Frances Smith, Ellen's uptight and critical parents who disapprove of much of what happens in the Griswold household. John Randolph and Mae Questel play Clark's parents, who are more easygoing but often bewildered by the chaos around them. Julia Louis-Dreyfus appears as Margot Chester, the Griswold's snobbish yuppie neighbor who is constantly annoyed by Clark's antics and the general commotion next door. Nicholas Guest plays her husband Todd Chester, who shares his wife's disdain for their neighbors. Their reactions to the Griswold family's disasters provide an outsider's perspective on the chaos. Brian Doyle Murray has a memorable role as Frank Shirley, Clark's cheap and insensitive boss whose decision to replace cash bonuses with a Jelly Club membership sets off the film's climactic events. Miriam Flynn appears as Cousin Catherine, and William Hickey plays Uncle Lewis, whose cigar accidentally sets the Christmas tree on fire in one of the film's most memorable scenes. Release date and box office. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was released theatrically in the United States on December 1, 1989. This strategic release date positioned the film perfectly at the beginning of the holiday season, allowing it to capitalize on Christmas movie-going audiences throughout December. The film was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures across North America and internationally. The movie opened in wide release across American theaters and quickly found its audience. Despite receiving mixed reviews from critics upon its initial release, the film performed solidly at the box office. It opened at number 2 at the domestic box office and went on to gross approximately $59 million domestically during its theatrical run. When adjusted for inflation, this represents significant commercial success for a comedy film of that era. The production budget for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was approximately $27 million, which means the film more than doubled its budget through theatrical releases alone. When international box office receipts, home video sales, and television rights are factored in, the film became highly profitable for Warner Bros. And all parties involved in its production. The film's commercial success extended far beyond its initial theatrical release. Upon its release on home video formats including VHS and later DVD and Blu-ray, Christmas Vacation became one of the best-selling holiday films of all time. It has been released in multiple special edition formats, anniversary editions, and remains a consistent seller during every holiday season. Television broadcasts of the film have become annual traditions for many networks, with the movie regularly appearing in television schedules throughout November and December. Cable networks such as AMC, TBS, and TNT have featured the film in marathon broadcasts, introducing it to new generations of viewers and allowing longtime fans to revisit it each year. The film's enduring popularity has made it a steady revenue generator for Warner Bros. Decades after its initial release. Merchandise related to the film, including clothing featuring memorable quotes, replica props such as the moose mug, and Christmas ornaments depicting scenes from the movie, continues to sell well each holiday season. About the movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is an American Christmas comedy directed by Jeremiah S. Chechik and written by legendary screenwriter John Hughes. Released on December 1, 1989, by Warner Bros. Pictures, this film has become a timeless holiday tradition for families around the world. Performing arts starring Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, Beverly D'Angelo as Ellen Griswold, Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie, Johnny Galecki as Rusty Griswold, Juliette Lewis as Audrey Griswold, and many more talented actors. Open book plot summary. Follow Clark Griswold's hilarious journey as he attempts to create the perfect old-fashioned family Christmas. From disastrous tree hunting to 25,000 Christmas lights, exploding turkeys, and unexpected family guests, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the most comedic way possible. Faced with tears of joy money-bag box office success, the film grossed over $71 million worldwide against a $27 million budget, making it a massive commercial success. It has since become one of the highest-grossing Christmas films of all time through theatrical re-releases, home video sales, and streaming platforms. Clapperboard production details, director, Jeremiah S. Chechik, writer, John Hughes, studio, Warner Bros. Pictures, cinematographer, Thomas E. Ackerman, music, Angelo Badalamenti, release date, December 1, 1989, runtime, 97 minutes, budget, $27 million, box office, $71 million plus, glowing star. Why this movie is a classic. Christmas Vacation perfectly captures the chaos and warmth of family holiday gatherings. The film's blend of slapstick comedy, heartfelt moments, and relatable family dynamics has made it required viewing every Christmas season for over 3 decades. Fire memorable moments. The 25,000 Christmas lights display, squirrel and the Christmas tree chaos, Cousin Eddie's RV arrival, the exploding turkey dinner, Clark's epic workplace rant. Shitter was full. The iconic quote, the sledding disaster opening scene, Uncle Lewis's cigar incident, film frames, review, and facts experience. White medium star, critical reception, initially received mixed reviews but has since achieved universal acclaim and is now considered one of the greatest Christmas comedies ever made. Currently holds 71% on Rotten Tomatoes with strong audience scores. Direct hit. Interesting facts. This was director Jeremiah S. Chechik's feature film debut. The screenplay was based on John Hughes' short story, Christmas '59. The house facade was built on Warner Brothers' backlit specifically for this film. Randy Quaid's cousin Eddie character became so popular it inspired a spin-off. The film is shot entirely in California despite being set in Chicago. Over 25,000 actual lights were used for the iconic illumination. The movie has been released in multiple special editions and anniversary formats. It spawned annual TV marathons and became a cultural phenomenon. Many props from the film, including the moose mugs, became collectible merchandise. The film continues to generate significant revenue decades after its release. Legacy and impact. Christmas Vacation has influenced countless holiday comedies and remains a cultural touchstone. Its quotes, scenes, and characters are referenced throughout pop culture, and it continues to introduce new generations to the Griswold family's chaotic Christmas adventures. Christmas Tree Awards and recognition. While not a major awards contender, the film has received recognition from various organizations celebrating comedy and holiday entertainment. It's regularly featured on Best Christmas Movies list from major publications and entertainment outlets. Television where to watch. The film is available on various streaming platforms during the holiday season and is regularly broadcast on cable networks like AMC, TBS, and TNT. It's also available for purchase on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital formats. Family Man Woman Girl Boy, perfect for families looking for holiday entertainment, comedy fans, Chevy Chase enthusiasts, anyone who loves classic 80s comedies, and people who enjoy relatable holiday chaos.